Hello, it's Raina with Lylo Crafts, and today I am coming on because I have the most adorable embellishments to share, and they can be used in such a variety of ways. So they all are using a nesting die. Any kind of nesting die would work. And what I did here was I cut these wonderful pine branches. I layered up a poinsettia about 5 times. I added leaves. I stamped this love and I cut that out and I added it to that. I just want you to see this embellishment would make such a gorgeous journal topper, right? Or you could use it as a card, or you could punch it up here and you could add this as a tag to a present that would turn into an ornament, into a keepsake. So I love deer, and so I chose the sentiment love to go with that. So that is my first one. And I'm just going to show you these on different backgrounds. I was using gold foil as a background over here with vellum. And this came from a wedding invitation box set that I got. I think it was about 70 or 80% off a little over a year ago. And I bought it solely for this vellum die cut, because you can even cut this in half and use half of it on something. But I thought, oh, this is the perfect time to use the whole piece. If you don't have something like this, you can use a doily. A doily would work just as phenomenally. Okay, so this time I'm doing it on pink as the background, and this inking I have around here, I used gold this time. So all the inking I did on my projects today, I just used this gold ink that I had in my stash, and this has that sweet little snowman, and these papers are from Frank Garcia and Prima. And I backed it in, it's double-sided paper, so in coordinating paper over here. And this also has a poinsettia, and then I used tulle to create just a little rosette behind that. And I've got a few little sprigs over here also cut out with gold foil, and then the word peace stamped and cut out. And I think that is just so sweet. And I'm going to show you guys some red ones too. I am showing you pastel because I got a request for pastel Christmas. So I said, okay, let me try and do that. So I am trying to accommodate every single person's request that shared with me what they would like to see. Okay, so this is just plain cardstock, and then look how pretty that would look, right? So this one starts off with a tulle rosette. No sewing at all. Just hot glue, cut the pieces of tulle out, hot glue it on. And I'll show you how to make one of these after I share all of them with you. And so then you can see on top of that, I have a double layered star with gold foil and then the same Prima coordinating paper. So this would be awesome on a tag too. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Love, right? And it says joy. And so I do think peace, love, and joy, along with faith and hope, are some of the best sentiments for Christmas. I do have one more of these to share with you. It is another sweet little deer, and it says joy. And this time it's got some tulle rosette, a poinsettia, a few little sprigs, and the word joy together. And it's backed on music paper. And doesn't that look gorgeous on the gold, or even this light pink? And now let's go ahead and we will jump in the red ones. And so I have this sweet Jingle Bells ornament right here, or tag. It already has the string to tie it on. It can easily be removed, and it jingles. And this is vintage music paper, but you know, any kind of music paper would work. Book page would work for this. Any kind of craft paper would work as well. And then I just cut the star out, and I've got red there, and then I've got a little bit more antique gold along with the red that says Jingle Bells. And this die is also these sentiment die. This one, Jingle Bells, is also from the Chaos Craft store. And I think that is so sweet. I also made this one right here. So this is sparkle. And It's one of my favorite words. I even have it up in my craft room, the word sparkle. I just think we could sparkle and leave some love wherever we go, right? And so it is in some paper that is still currently available at Hobby Lobby. And then instead of cutting out a frame like this one, I cut out the whole big star in this red foil. And Michael's does have red foil in stock right now. So they do have it buy one, get one half off as of Monday. And then with the scraps, I just punched out these little flowers and I just layered those up with a tiny little gemmy in the front to go with the sparkle. Now, you can put it on something like this with a white doily, I think would be fabulous. This would be such a cute way to layer this up and put this on top of a Christmas journal, a junk journal, a Christmas daily. You can put it on a card front. Isn't that so pretty? So, you know, I think there's just so many uses for these sweet little embellishments. And I do have one more smaller one, and this one says Joy. And this one has pattern paper behind, and then it's popped up on foam, and then the Joy is popped up on the thick foam. And the thick foam is available at Hobby Lobby, and I am surprised. I do have an Empress, so I have an electronic die cutting machine, but just one pass. It doesn't matter how thin the die is, it is cutting like butter. So I love how chunky that looks. And then I just added a little sprig that I also die cut out. I've just got a little Christmas, little berries over there as an accent. So I love these and I hope you do too. And if you would like to stay tuned and decorate one with me, that is what I'm gonna do next. But before you head on out, I would so appreciate if you like this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. This is the nesting die that I am using, and as you can see, it's got 4 little pieces of stars in there, but you could use hearts, you could use circles, you could use squares, rectangles, use whatever you have. So, but this, people ask me, so I just wanted to show this is the little die set that I am using. And as far as the paper goes, here it is. It's called Sugar Cookie Christmas Collection. This is by Frank Garcia, and it's got these sweet little reindeer and presents. And this is all I've got left of that sweet little snowman paper. So this is the one we're going to be decorating, this sweet little deer. It's got green foil on it this time, and I do want to use the word joy. And this is cut out in a muted gold, and I would love to put a rosette behind it. So I thought I would just show you how I did it. I'm taking my circle punch. This is a 1.5 inch, but that's because I don't have a 1-inch punch. I would be using a 1-inch punch if I had it. So just use whatever you have. If you don't have a punch, no big deal. It's going to be covered up, so it doesn't really even have to be a circle. So I'm just cutting out a piece of scrap paper here, and then what I'm going to do is take my little tool, and this is soft tool. So if you buy the kind with the flex on it from the Dollar Tree, the snow kind, which I also love, you can fold a rosette. You can weave back and forth and fold it because it will hold its shape. But this softer tool doesn't really hold its shape that way. So you kind of have to work with it a little bit differently. So I just cut 4 pieces of tulle, and there's no trick to it because we're going to cut it down after this to make it more in line with the size we want. So I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue there, and all I'm going to do is take the center of the tulle approximately, crunch it up, and lay it in the hot glue. And then I'm going to use my spatula to kind of hold that in place. So I've got that one. Okay, next I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of crinkle it up like a fan loosely, and I do mean loosely. This is not like you have to make your creases perfect or anything like that. So I'm going to put it in there. So now I've got another piece. I'm going to do the same thing for these two. Okay, now you do want to kind of fluff the edges out as you saw me doing so that it will fill in. You can take your scissors, any kind of scissors. I'm going to use pinking shears because I think it makes a nice edge. And all I'm going to do is try and clip these off about the same length. I think this side could even be a hair shorter. That looks great to me. All right, so now we're gonna put our joy in here, and then maybe we want to put something else like behind it or coming out the sides. I went and cut a lot of these little foliage pieces, so that might be sweet in here. And I did them in all different colors, and I did this with scraps. And I think it's such a beautiful way to make sure, especially when you purchase foil or glitter paper, that they do not go to waste. Okay, I like a little sparkle and shine. So what if I put these sweet little gold foil leaves, and I put that on like that. Okay, I think that would be wonderful. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these little stems off, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of hot glue on the back here, and I'm going to put them on a slight diagonal from each other and to the edge of the little tool rosette that we just made together. And the same thing for this one. That's a bit of hot glue. So what I want to do next is I want to add this little poinsettia to the center on top of those, but staggered. And this is just cut with a scrap of that same paper. And I'm going in here with the gold. Okay, I'm going to just put a dab of hot glue on the back. And I'm going to stagger the leaves between the branches because I do want the branches to show. So we've got that, and now I'm going to add my word joy on, and I already put one layer of hot glue down on the back and let it dry, because what that does is it creates some height for when you're going to add another round of hot glue. So that way I don't even have to worry about cutting it out with foam again and lining it all up. I just attach it with the hot glue and use the glue as that spacer. Okay, I think that is so sweet. That is so sweet. And so now what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of hot glue all in the corner up here. And I'm going to attach this little joy down here in this corner. So let's take a look at this one. Like, is that not the sweetest? Oh my gosh, I just think these are such the sweetest embellishments and are so versatile. I really hope that you like them too. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.